Hello and welcome to NTV Business. MG Motors. MG Motors అనగానే MG కార్స్, ఎలక్ట్రిక్ కార్స్, గ్లాస్టర్ అన్నీ గుర్తుకొస్తాయి. సో MG మోటార్స్ గురించి ఇంకా తెలుసుకోవడానికి ఈరోజు మనము డెప్యూటీ మేనేజింగ్ డైరెక్టర్ ఆఫ్ MG మోటార్స్ ఇండియాతో మాట్లాడబోతున్నాం. ఈజ్ నన్ అదర్ దాన్ గౌరవ్ గుప్తా. సో లెట్స్ వెల్కమ్ హిమ్. So firstly, congratulations for completing 99 years. That's a huge achievement. So from how many years you are with MG Motors?
Well, I would say this is our 100th year for the brand across the world. Taruna, this brand was founded in Oxford by Mr. Cecil Kimber in UK 100 years ago. For me, I've been here very much from the inception of MG Motor in India. Well, I would say 5 years plus now and counting, and definitely one of the most enjoyable stints for many of us who've been part of the foundation of MG, the auto tech brand in the country in India.
When you talk about MG, so it is a very royal brand, and now we are seeing like a lot of different cars have been improvised and made it into the market, launched in the market. What do you have to say? What is the plan for the next 5 years for Andhra and Telangana and globally too?
See, I would say, when we brought in MG to the market in India, it has lived up to its original stance of innovation completely as an auto tech brand. Right from the first car itself, the MG Hector was India's first internet SUV. We then brought in the ZS EV, electric internet SUV, and we then brought in the MG Gloster, which was India's premium autonomous SUV, and then we topped it up with MG Aster, which is autonomous level 2 and AI inside the car. And recently we had the MG Comet, the urban city mobility vehicle, the new age funky car altogether. So all our cars have had an element of technology. They are all connected cars. They all have autonomous level capability other than the Comet, and they really stand for technology and making sure that on top of it we bring in the customer service aspect to it. So taking this forward, the way we are looking at the growth story here in India, we are evaluating various technologies for the market. We had showcased at the Auto Expo in January in Delhi. We had showcased plug-in hybrids, we have showcased fuel cell technology, we are showing more EV technology, more EV cars, different form and shapes. So all of them are being explored as we go along. And of course we do look at targeting bringing in one new car every year in the market here, and especially here in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Like you had mentioned, the good part here is that the adoption of electric vehicles in Telangana has been very, very encouraging and very, very, responsive to the need of the hour as well. Overall, for climate change, for our entire oil pool reserves, as well as new technologies also. We are going to be having 20 centers, 20 touch points across Telangana. So Hyderabad, Secunderabad, and then you go outside of the main cities where we got Warangal, Karimnagar, Nizamabad, Khammam, Mehboob Nagar. And talking about Andhra Pradesh, so we are also expanding there. So we already are there in Vijayawada, Rajahmundry, Vizag, Visakhapatnam, Tirupati, Guntur. We are expanding to places like Anantapur, Nellore as well, and Kurnool also. So we're expanding in many of these areas combined. So 20 plus in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. A similar number also will be there in Andhra Pradesh. So the entire coverage will be to making sure that customer is never far away from either a service point or of course a showroom point. Taruna, why don't you join me for a drive, because I am headed to Kukatpalli right now, and join me for the drive. It will give you a chance to experience the MG Hector.
Absolutely. So మనం ఇప్పుడు గౌరవ్ గుప్తా గారితో ఎంజీ హెక్టర్లో లోపలికి వెళ్తున్నాం, ఒక డ్రైవ్ చేస్తున్నాం. సో ఎంజీ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ చూస్తూ ఆయనతో ఇంకా చాలా విషయాలు మాట్లాడదాం. కమ్ విత్ మీ. When it comes to brand establishment, how do you see the competition in the market?
Well, I think the good part here is that consumers have multiple choices, not only of brands but also of different form and shape. But I do believe that ultimately more the choice, the better for the consumer, and eventually we all are here to serve the customer. So when they decide which technology they want to adopt, when they decide which SUV form is acceptable or sedan form is acceptable or hatch is acceptable, they are ultimately the kings. And I think all of us are learning, and this will be always a journey to always supporting the customer, understanding their needs, and bringing in the best overall experience for them. At MG, we are all about our customers, customer centricity. In fact, brand experience is one of the core pillars of the company and for the brand as well. And we really would like to say it explicitly that the love of the customers has really been shown by the fact that, and we are very humbled, we are very, very humbled by that they have rated us #1 both in service and sales in both our debut and second year as well. So we have to live up to our promise as we go forward.
We have seen like other brands also coming up with the electric vehicles now, and MG has recently come up with the electric vehicle which is actually doing really well in the market. What do you have to say?
Thank you. I must say that for us, we showcased the MG ZS EV, India's first electric internet SUV, in 2019 in December, and brought it on the roads in early 2020 Q1. But the planning of that had started much earlier. So our entire approach to electric vehicles has started almost 4 to 5 years ago, and we believe that we really have got a lot of choices available for the customer, and some of it you have seen, and more of it you will see as we go along in the next few years in India. The ZS EV that we have in India is also a proven car across the world. It's sold in UK, Europe, Australia and other markets as well, and we have sold more than 10,000 of ZS EV in India now. It's proven itself in technology on the battery. It's loved quite a lot in the country market as well. And I must say over here that the whole concept, you talked about customer and electric vehicles, we were the first brand that said that we will provide a charger and install a charger free, which means it's all one package at your home with every car sold. And recently we also launched the MG Comet. It's an urban city car, and it's great for mobility. We see the traffic around us, and that zippy car really helps us to maneuver and navigate through this congestion. So it's a zero emission, it's automatic, it's electric, and the best part about it is that you really have no limits within the city for that car to go anywhere. So the ZS EV and the Comet are the two electric offerings. We're targeting about 25% plus of our portfolio to be electric vehicles this year, and I must share with you, Kanuga, that in June and July we are about 30% right now. So we are holding up, and of course more to grow as the year goes along.
When it comes to Telangana, we have been planting so many trees. If you see around, it's so green and nice. So thinking of the ecosystem, and what is the responsibility that MG is taking up?
It's a very apt question, and I must say that I love Hyderabad, and I've been here many times, and the progress we see in Telangana is really, really remarkable. And for us, bringing an EV or bringing a car for anyone, it's easy to say you bring in a car, you produce it, you test it, you validate it, and here you are for the customer. But we took a step further and we said what we want to do is to work in the EV ecosystem space. So what have we done so far? First, we said that one is to look at the charging partners that we would like to bring on board. So we have got collaborations for chargers from partners like Exicom, Exonify right here in Telangana. We got Delta, and then we also said for the infrastructure work, we've got partnerships with GeoBP, we've got partnerships with BPCL. In fact, just recently we inaugurated the corridor from Delhi to Jalandhar in the northern corridor. Southern, western and eastern are work in progress also. So that charging network on the highways, intercity movement is already in work in progress. Along with that, the third part of the ecosystem we've been working on is the area of battery recycling. And we were the first to recycle a passenger vehicle electric lithium-ion battery in India with the help of our partner Etero. And now we've been working on second life as well with our partner Loham as well. And more such partnerships are also being evaluated. So if you look at the overall approach, one is on the product side, which is to bring in cars with great performance, great package overall for consumer. Then you have how do you address the charging infrastructure area. That's what we've been working on. Second life of the battery, recycling of the battery, and the last, which is one of the I would say the most favorite subject, is to develop the skill set of electric vehicles in India overall. So we have partnered with ASDC, Automotive Skill Development Council, to really, because these are new technologies. They are not like ICE, which have been here for 50 odd years. So you need people to understand, and here, you know, in terms of vocational training, etc., comes very, very handy. And this is set to grow in the future, right? So just if you, I correlate this to, let's say, the dot-com burst, or you know, when you said when computers will come, what will happen? Will jobs go? Not at all. So you in fact create more jobs. So similarly, with coming of EV as a technology, you are expanding the potential of how many people can be gainfully getting into the sector without any kind of you could say any kind of hurdle or a gap between that. You need to have ABC requirements, only then you can get into the electric vehicle category or autonomous vehicle for servicing, etc. So here the whole part is that when you remove the kind of barricades for people, and that's what we've been working on, not only with the ASDC for developing and training more and more people who can service these cars across the country, but we are working with IIT now, IIT Delhi for that matter, in the academia, to work on course curriculum for these technologies, so that we are then looking at technology at the education level, academia. You're looking at vocational for providing more employment, empowerment, jobs to be able to get people to service. You're looking at product technology to improve. You're looking at ecosystem of chargers, ecosystem of infrastructure, recycling, second life of the battery to take it up further. So the list can go on, but it's a very, very evolving space and a very, very, I would say, interesting space to look out for.
So buying a car and buying a house is definitely still a dream in India. So do we see like 60 to 70% of the people buying a MG car? So when is that announcement gonna happen from your side?
You know, I must say that you know, we are really humbled by the love and affection of our customers in India. We are now close to about 1.7 lakh customer base in the country and growing. With the MG Comet, we really are looking forward to a larger footprint for people to adopt new technology, new form and shape, and take it up further. But obviously, you know, as we expand our product offering, as we expand our portfolio, expand our footprint, it will go further. We talked about the growth here in Telangana itself. We're going to have 20 plus centers in Telangana, and likewise a similar number in Andhra Pradesh. Covering the cities, covering the district capitals. So more coverage, more presence, more products. Promise of the current customers being satisfied helps us grow.
So which are the new cars that gonna be launched in the next 3 years?
You know, it's a very interesting question you ask me. At the recently concluded, I would say not recently, but in Q1, the National Auto Expo, which happens in Delhi once in 2 years, we showcased a range of products which were production ready cars of electric vehicles, plug-in hybrids, even fuel cell production vehicles also. We are constantly evaluating different technologies, different form and shape to be adding on to our current portfolio, as well as refreshing our current portfolio. So I can only say that look out for this space. There will be something more interesting coming for sure. The way we've been bringing in a new car every year, that will continue. So we do look forward to adding on to our portfolio next year also. And it's a very interesting space. And the good part is that India now is, this year I think we'll be clocking somewhere around 4.1 to 4.2 million sales. With that kind of a volume base, you do have, you know, coexistence of various technologies in the market. So it makes it very interesting. And again, consumer is the king.
Yeah, so as you said...
Or I would say consumer is the king or queen, rather than being gender biased.
A lot of good information has been given about MG. So how are you motivated and inspired every day?
You know, I must say products definitely you know, excites everybody. But I think one of the core values of the company and the brand that we have is diversity. And we are looking at, you know, taking it up even higher. We are at 37% diversity you know, across our operations, right from the factory floor to our operations. So how to increase that and how to really make it more and more inclusive is the work that really charges all of us. The second is the area of MG Seva. Right from the first car that we sold, in fact even prior to that first car, we said that what we will do is for every car sold, we will have a contribution towards serving the community. And I'm humbled to share that we've been working very actively in the area of poor girl child education, and that work continues for all of us in the organization. And the third one that really keeps driving us is the area of MGDP, MG Developer Program and Grant. In a very short span, we've been able to work with more than 1,250 startups in the country. So we are, July 19 was when the first car rolled out on the roads in India for us here. And in just about 4 years, we've been able to work with about 1,250 startups in India. And we've been able to work with many of them to what we call is as from proof of concept to purchase order, which means we help them. We don't invest in them, but we help them to take their idea and help it come into industrialization, into actual execution stage, which helps the startups to go forward with their journey of bringing in and doing good in the industry overall. So areas like this really excites us, because we've been working with new partners in India in the area of AI, blockchain technology, in the area of VR. We also dabbled, we were the first to look at NFTs and metaverse. Of course, these things keep changing as well, so that keeps us going. So overall, I would say we are very humbled and we are blessed to have a team that really looks at in totality, in terms of consumer focus, new technology study. We look at new technology study, we look at consumer focus, like I talked about, serving the community, diversity and technology. So all this put together is the magic potion, I would say, which keeps us going. And I must say that with the 100 years now of MG celebration as we go along, we're looking forward to taking it even further as we go forward.
Seeing how active you are, so how does your day look like?
My day usually starts with some time for myself, a bit of meditation and an exercise break, that regime that is always there to start the day break. And then it gets on to the work related issues with calls and with meeting people across the office. And I think that's what charges us to keep interacting and work with our teams. And then we always take out time to spend time with the family as well. So it's a mix of time for self, for reading, for meditation in the mornings, and then of course getting onto the work life and taking it forward. And evenings usually are with the family and spend time with them. You asked me about the weekends. Weekends, I usually like to meet with startups on the weekends, and my family and I are engaged in social work at my own level. So I work with organizations which are helping in philanthropy as well. Social venture partners is where I'm engaged with as a partner to help work in the area of philanthropy, like I mentioned. And then occasionally I like to play golf. So that's how you live. I try to bring a comprehensive plan to myself.
I'm sure a lot of people who are watching this would like to know, somebody who wants to really do something big in life, what kind of advice you would give to them?
That's a very loaded question that you asked me, and I feel humbled to share. But I will just say what kind of has driven me along. One is to always keep being true to oneself. So never be at a pretense in any situation. And the second thing I would always say is that always try to add value in anything that one is part of, in any kind of engagement that one is involved in. And I think that is where the real essence of being in the zone and really comes all together. And I would like to wrap this up by talking about keep working on the area of self-improvement, new knowledge learning, because the world is changing so fast. How do you remain relevant is very important. So be true to yourself, always look at adding value, and keep having that quest of learning new areas, new technologies, whatever new is there, because that is how you remain relevant altogether. So those are the three things I would say.
Yeah, it was wonderful talking to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It was a valuable time for us too.
Thank you.
Thank you. So చూసారు కదా, that was Mr. Gupta from MG Motors India. ఆయన ఏమంటున్నారంటే సెల్ఫ్ ఇంప్రూవ్మెంట్, సెల్ఫ్ నాలెడ్జ్ అనేది చాలా చాలా అవసరం. దాంతోపాటు మీరు మీ లైఫ్లో వాల్యూ కూడా యాడ్ చేస్తారు. కెమెరా పర్సన్ అలీతో తరుణ, NTV హైదరాబాద్.